The world is becoming a more turbulent place with more extreme and unpredictable climate, more frequent natural hazards, and increased violent conflicts. These are aggravating poverty and vulnerability worldwide. However, when communities are resilient, the chances of moving out of poverty and away from vulnerability are greatly enhanced. This is the reason why resilience is a central point of focus in CARE's programs and strategies. For CARE, resilience is the capacity to deal with shocks and stresses, manage risk and transform lives and systems in response to new hazards. Resilience is increased if the capacities and assets to deal with various shocks and stresses are built and supported, if the drivers of risk are reduced, and if these actions are supported by an enabling environment. To be resilient, people need to build the anticipatory capacities to foresee shocks and be ready for them. Absorptive capacities to lower the immediate negative impacts of shocks when they occur. Adaptive capacities to change behaviors and strategies in the face of complex risks. And transformative capacities to have the means to influence positively their environment and provoke systemic changes. But people can only act on these capacities if they access and control over social, human, economic, physical, and natural assets are greatly enhanced. Drivers of risks are the underlying causes of risks and vulnerability. CARE commonly encounters the following drivers of risk: lack of control over resources, poor governance and institutions, environmental degradation, or unequal social norms and barriers such as gender inequality. Certain shocks and stresses can also be drivers of other shocks and stresses such as climate change, market failure, or conflict. These drivers need to be reduced to increase resilience. To support an enabling environment and positively influence formal and informal rules, plans, policies, and legislation, you should implement advocacy strategies at a level beyond the community. For example, in the case of epidemics, advocacy efforts may be aimed at governments to develop plans to better manage medicine stocks, can prove very useful. These three elements make the CARE resilience framework. In addition to these three elements, the framework pays particular attention to the integration of forward-looking analysis, flexibility, and innovation to make sure that people will be able to consider future risks and uncertainties in their planning and adapt to them. It is also fundamental to increase capacities and assets in ways that do not harm communities by driving new risks. Resilience building approaches should therefore be integrated in all types of programming, whether these are humanitarian or sustainable development programs. Do you want to know more about CARE's approach to increasing resilience? If so, read our theoretical framework on resilience. Also, feel free to contact CARE Climate Change and Resilience Platform for further advice.